morning, everybody, and happy Saturday. Doesn't it feel good to sit there and wake up and know that you don't have to go to work today? Me, I'm excited. Jazz hands. And you can also see that. Yes, I'm not perfect. All right, let's mix my coffee. I mean, I've already had a cup this morning. But anybody who knows me knows I like my coffee light. Kind of like I like my men. Beautiful, sweet caramel color. Or olive skin. And I keep forgetting that we cannot use certain brands without getting their permission first. So, I don't want to get a copyright strike. I'm learning. Doing the best that I can. Ooh, hot. While we wait for that to cool. Baby! Alright, I was watching YouTube this morning, and the one thing that I had to stop the video I was watching and make a video about was abuse towards animals, children, and the elderly. Those are three things that I'm super passionate about that are untolerated. I mean, come on. When it comes to the elderly, they've been here the longest. They've lived their lives. They've seen it all. Yet, us younger generations, including myself, I've done it before at times. I'm not going to say, like, I'm so innocent, because the truth is I'm not. Back when I was younger, I wasn't perfect. But the way people treat the elderly these days is disgusting. And I mean disgusting. When you see an elderly person trying to cross the street, help them. I know a lot of them are going to sit there and, probably pop off with attitude and say, no, I don't need your help. At least make sure they get across the street safely if they're like that. Remember, they've put their dues in. They carry wisdom. I've met some older generations where at first I thought they were just flat out nasty. But that's until you get to know them. Most people don't understand that when it comes to the elderly. Like I previously stated, they've been there, they've done it all, they've seen it all. And some of them, and not all, develop the attitude that I've been here for so long, who the fuck are you gonna tell me? Well, they're right. Who the fuck is someone that's younger than them gonna tell them something that they already know? It's very insulting. How do you tell somebody that's older than you that you know better when you don't? And I'm not talking about everything. I'm talking about life situations. And yes, my hands are all over the place. I'm being super handsy this morning. Then there's children. They're just learning in this world. They're like sponges. It's like you see those commercials on TV where you can have your baby reading by the age of 6 months. I highly recommend all you people wanting to spit out kids. Some of you should be and some of you shouldn't. Because let's face it, some of you were never meant to be parents. Some and not all. Side note, I cannot stand it when someone who didn't raise their child has the nerve to sit there and post Happy Mother's Day to themselves. Really? Like, really, bitch? You don't raise your kids and you want the accolades that come with Mother's Day? That's what I gotta say to that. And yes, I understand there are extenuating circumstances to each and every situation. But we're living in a sick, twisted world. And I don't even have to say that for y'all to know that. YouTube has become shit. I'm wondering if I'm even going to make any money off any of this, because YouTube sits there and grabs most of the money. But before I sign any contracts or agree to anything, if I get bigger, it's going to be on my terms. And when it comes to contracts, I know how to find every loophole. Same thing with the law. I know how to find loopholes. Now we're moving on to animals. Animals, this is just my opinion, so nobody take this as fact. Animals were created, especially the typical house pets that we have, they were created to give nothing but pure, unconditional love. The dogs, the cats, the hamsters, that's all they know. And for anybody to abuse an animal, you're a piece of shit. Even if you smack your dog. The truth is you do not need to hit your dog to train your dog. I have trained so many dogs without having to hit them. And it just disgusts me. You don't rub your dog's face in its own shit to teach it not to shit on the carpet. You immediately pick it up and you bring it outside and say, this is where you go poo-poo. And eventually they'll catch on. Now, a thought just popped into my head that a few days ago I was with someone and something like this happened. And no, I'm not talking about that situation, because I know you are a loving animal owner. And you spoil that dog. Beautiful dog. So just know I'm not talking about you. But I know I say a lot of buts, but it is what it is. I guess I need media training. But but I was actually watching Sloan. And I'll admit, I like his content, especially when it came to the uncovering the Britney Spears thing. because I believe that because of the Free Britney movement, she is now free. Now I think it's time that the media backs off and lets her live her own life. I mean, yes, we all want music. Yes, we want projects. We're rooting for her. But considering what she's been through, how selfish are we to ask that from her? If she wants to make it, she can go make it. If she doesn't, that's okay. She's got a catalog of music that will keep us dancing for the rest of our lives. Hopefully, she owns the copyrights to her own music and owns her original masters. And if she was smart, she would take any kind of money she has left and buy them back, because that's where the real money is. Because I don't know about you songwriters, but that's where most of the credit goes to in the industry, along with the producers, because each album, I remember Lisa Left Eye Lopez explaining it back in the day. She said each album has 100 credits. And usually the artist, especially if you're only singing, usually get 2 credits. But again, that was back in 90s. When did TLC Crazy Sexy Cool come out? That originally came out in 94, but that CD, between its tours and its promotions, lasted up to 2 years. So I would say, yeah, 96, around right. It was still relevant. And they spoke openly about it. Yet nothing was done. Nobody called out L.A. Reid. Nobody called out Babyface. No one called out frickin' Dallas Austin. I mean, Dallas Austin was just the producer. But that Crazy Sexy Cool album was, let's just say it was a milestone in history. It's a CD that will never be forgotten. Along with Fan Mail. Now let's talk about Madonna. I am so fucking pissed at Madonna. Pissed. She had a deal that was already signed. The X in the eyes were dots to make a movie of her life from a huge studio. Instead, she plays Truth or Dare with her friends and goes on this big world tour, and the movie ends up getting canceled. You know, Madonna, I was really hoping the movie was going to be real and not be a fluff show. We want the nitty gritty details. I want to know who you fucked to get to the top. Because I'm just being real. I remember seeing that movie in the 80s, and even though it was inaccurately depicted about you, most of the stuff in the movies, it's like Mariah Carey. But then again, she was groomed. It wouldn't surprise me if Madonna was groomed too. Because in the industry, artists are groomed. They tell them, if you don't do this, then you won't get this. And then they secret videotape record them and use it against them to make them to do stuff. And that goes on there's a lot that the public does not know of what goes on behind the entertainment industry. Like the P word, which I can't say on YouTube. Take a guess. There are only a few P words on YouTube that are not allowed to be said. But I think you guys get the gist. I remember being in the entertainment industry as a kid. I remember modeling. Me and my twin brother used to walk runways. And some of the stuff we seen was, let's just say, traumatic. I've never really talked about it before. But it got to the point where, as a kid, I did not want to continue. Even though I look back now and say, what the fuck was I thinking? I should have gone and been a runway model. But then again, I would have been a co-core with freaking drinking champagne. Well, maybe not. I don't know. But I just know that it just wasn't something that I felt comfortable doing. As for my brother's experiences, him and I have never talked about it. And I don't know how he felt on that. I just know we wanted to be kids. We did not want to be runway models or working children. And my mom did the responsible thing and she let us be kids. I don't remember telling my mother that we didn't want to do this or we weren't into this. I just know when we said that we didn't want to do this anymore, my mom listened, and that's a good parent. But yeah. I've also had internships where I've seen stuff. And Jaguar Wright calls P. Diddy honeycombs for a reason. That's some funny shit. But that, I will admit, that Strivectin cream, big difference within 24 hours. Huge difference. My skin is softer, it looks tighter, and I'm a boy. If only the rest of this would pop up, you know, this part, it would do the like Death Becomes Her. Because that's my favorite part of the movie. She's like, I'm a girl. I just love that part of the movie. Her boobs go bump, bump. Me and Andre have watched it several times, but he doesn't remember it. Or partially it's because we never make it through the movie when we watched it. But Valentine's Day is coming up, people. What do you have planned for your significant other? Forget about the materialistic shit, okay? Make something that comes from here. And listen, you can make a fancy diamond ring if you want, or a fancy piece of jewelry. All you got to do is just go buy silver pieces and melt them down and get the molds and all that stuff. And yes, I guess it's expensive, but chances are it's probably cheaper to make your own jewelry than it is to go out and buy it. I could be wrong on that, so please don't quote me, but just saying. I talked with a woman who owns her own shop, who makes her own jewelry, who makes everything from her two own hands. And if she can do it, so can run the rest of us. And I understand that all of us are not, what's the word? Craftily inclined? If I said that right. If I didn't, please correct me below in the comment section. I would love to tell you to subscribe and to like my video. But unfortunately, I'm not there yet. This is the only channel that you will see a normal person do something like that. And yes, babe, I believe this is your MAC eyeliner. Because let's just face it, when I wake up in the morning, I don't always look this perfect. I mean, this morning I did, but sometimes to make the eyes pop out a little bit more, you need to add a little dimension. A little thin line of eyeliner across can do that. It can also make you look like your lashes are thicker than they already are. And considering I now have red hair, and you guys are not going to believe this, I took the leave-in condition spray that I made, and I took some henna dye along with some food coloring, and I put it in there. Not henna dye. We're just talking just henna. And I spray it in my hair and comb it through in order to keep the red that you see. I'm in the process of experimenting to go a little bit redder, but I'm very happy with the results. I've been getting quite a few downloads, and only very few of you know what downloads are. And I was asked by one of my friends in the Magic Society, what does they were asking me, what kind of downloads, if you don't mind me asking? When we see the numbers 111, 222, 333, 444, and so forth, those are divine messages from the upper dimensions. And we may not process that message at that particular moment, but eventually it will come to us. That's why I wake up in the morning and there are sometimes epiphanies. If that makes any sense. Like the oil I made the other day. That just came to me. That's an example of a download. Or how I made my spray. That's an example of a download. Also, there are some mathematics that I wasn't able to do before that I can now do. I'm picking things up quicker. Auras don't get me started. I can see auras like crazy, and it's wow. There are so many unhappy people in this world. A lot of people walking around with frickin' gray auras. Now, understand, I don't know the full color spectrum of the auras yet and all that stuff, but when I see someone with gray or black aura, I either think negative, low vibrational, or they're just trapped in hurtness. Am I 100% sure of this? No. But my intuition tells me. It just shows I need to study more. But I figured with every video I do, I'm gonna start recommending books that I have read and I think will benefit you. The Psychic Witch by Matt Oren. Amazing book. So many amazing exercises in this book. This book. Let me just say, any witch wanting to, or any person wanting to bring their inner witch out, get this book, The Psychic Witch. Learn everything that's in this book, even if you have to read it 3 times. I've read it twice. Then, his accompanying book, Master in Magic. Here, I highly recommend. This book is a continuance of The Psychic Witch. Now, I'm gonna show you this. This is an exercise that I did. And with this, Mnemosyne, which she is, I believe, she's the god and the goddess of time and memory. And I remember doing this specific exercise out of this book, and I connected with her all right, along with her 8 children. And the one lesson I learned was do your shadow work. Work on your traumas. Because no matter what entity you summon or you bring to you, if you ain't right up here, they're going to use that against you as a test. Before even communicating with them. Unfortunately, I did not get to communicate with her herself. Her 8 children, yes. The only thing she said to me was, because I was upset, and she made the comment, she goes, I can ease your sadness. And she told me away, and she told me away, and I didn't like the way, and all I remember screaming was no, and then I came back to this dimension, the earth realm. One of my instructors had asked me if I was following the directions of the Course. because at first I was supposed to contact either Ariel, Ganesha, or Elegua, aka Papa Legba. That was the first homework assignment. I decided to go with something I knew a little bit better, and that was the exercises in this book, along with the exercises that the teacher had given us. And they work both great together, absolutely. And they both work great individually. Well, it's already been 30 minutes and 45 seconds. Most people only stay on for a few minutes. But once I organize and get everything all figured out, this will be a great channel to tune into to hear about my opinions on the news, my opinions on celebrity news, psychic medium readings, tarot card readings, all that kind of stuff. I also plan on having special guests, like really powerful witches, really powerful mystics, and this channel, it's all about igniting your flame, empowering yourself, being the best that you can be. I can give you what it took me to get through what I went through to get strong. I think I said that wrong. But you also have to put in the work as well. You can't just want a Ferrari and expect for it to wake up one day and for it to be in the driveway with the keys in the ignition, right? We all can do it, and I will be with you every step of the way. So yes, I'm going to say please subscribe, please like, and you all have a great day. Have a great weekend.